Hello and welcome, everyone, to the English Improvement Podcast. I am Daniel, your host, and with me today is my good friend and co-host, John. How are you doing today, John?
Hey Daniel, I am doing great and I am super excited for today's episode. We are diving into one of the most important and requested topics, how to improve your English quickly by listening to the right materials. How about you, Daniel? Feeling ready?
Oh, absolutely. And to all our listeners out there, thank you so much for tuning in. We are thrilled to have you with us. Now, let me just say this. If you have been struggling to improve your English or feel stuck, do not worry. This episode is for you. John and I are going to share practical tips, proven techniques, and some inspiring ideas to help you make the most of your listening time.
That is right, Daniel. And before we get started, we want to remind everyone to hit that subscribe button. Subscribing helps you stay updated with all of our future episodes. Plus, it gives us the motivation to keep producing content that supports your English journey. So go ahead and subscribe now if you have not already.
Absolutely, John. And hey, let us not forget to tell our listeners to share this podcast with their friends, classmates, or anyone else who is looking to improve their English. The more, the merrier, right?
Exactly, Daniel. And now that we have set the stage, let us jump into our main topic. So, Daniel, in your experience, what is the first and most important thing someone should know about improving their English through listening?
That is a fantastic question, John. I believe the number one thing is to make it fun. Learning English, or any language for that matter, does not have to feel like a chore. If you enjoy what you are listening to, you are far more likely to stay consistent. For example, if you are a fan of sports, you can listen to podcasts or watch interviews about your favorite team or player. What do you think about that, John?
Oh, I totally agree, Daniel. I remember when I was learning Spanish, I started watching cooking shows because I love food. Not only did I learn new words related to cooking, but I also picked up common phrases and expressions in a natural way. It made the whole experience enjoyable and less intimidating.
That is such a good example, John. And you know what? It is not just about the enjoyment. When you are interested in the topic, you naturally pay more attention. That leads to better comprehension and retention. Now, for beginners, do you think they should focus on easier content first?
Absolutely, Daniel. Beginners should start with simple and clear content. Things like children's audiobooks, beginner-level podcasts, or language learning apps can be super helpful. The key is to match the level of difficulty to where you are right now. If you aim too high, you might feel overwhelmed. But if it is too easy, you will not learn much.
That is so true. And here is another tip. Use subtitles when you are watching videos or movies in English. It is a great way to connect the sounds with the written words. Just remember to challenge yourself by turning them off from time to time. What is your take on this, John?
Oh, subtitles are a lifesaver, especially in the beginning. I always recommend starting with English subtitles so you can see the spelling of words and understand the context better. Later, you can try switching them off to test how much you understand. It is like training your ears to pick up details.
Yes, exactly. And you know what else works wonders? Repeating what you hear. If there is a word or phrase that catches your attention, pause the video or audio and repeat it out loud. It helps you practice pronunciation and also reinforces the word in your memory.
That is a great tip, Daniel. Speaking of repetition, listening to the same content multiple times can be really helpful too. The first time you might not catch everything, but when you listen again, you start noticing words or details you missed. It is amazing how much you can pick up the second or third time.
Definitely, John. And let us talk about something equally important, active listening. Many people make the mistake of letting audio play in the background without really paying attention. To improve quickly, you need to focus. Notice how the speakers form sentences, their tone, and how they stress certain words. Try to imitate them. Do you agree?
Oh, 100%, Daniel. Active listening is like a workout for your ears and brain. And here is an idea for our listeners. Find a short clip of something you like, maybe a podcast or a movie scene, and practice shadowing. That means repeating what you hear as closely as possible in real time. It might feel challenging, but it is a fantastic way to improve.
Such a great idea, John. And I actually have an inspiring story about someone who did this. A friend of mine, Ahmed, was struggling with his English for years. He decided to commit to listening for just 20 minutes every day. He chose an English news channel and listened carefully during his commute to work. Ahmed also used subtitles at first and practiced shadowing while at home. After about 6 months, his progress was unbelievable. He started understanding movies without subtitles. His coworkers noticed his improved speaking skills, and he even delivered a presentation in English for the first time. That regular listening really paid off for him.
Wow, Daniel, that is such a powerful example. Ahmed's story shows how consistency and focus can truly transform your skills, and it is proof that anyone can make progress if they put in the effort every day.
Exactly, John. It all starts with small, consistent steps. And to our listeners, do not underestimate the power of making listening a daily habit. Even if it feels slow at first, you are laying the foundation for major improvements.
Could not have said it better myself, Daniel. It is all about building a habit. And here is a quick reminder for our listeners. Do not get discouraged if it feels slow at first. Every single day you practice, you are moving closer to fluency.
That is right, John. And with that, we want to thank everyone for tuning in. We hope this episode gave you plenty of inspiration and practical tips to boost your English listening skills.
Yes, thank you so much for listening. And remember, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment, and share your favorite tip for learning English. We would love to hear from you.
And do not forget to share this podcast with your friends. The more people who can benefit, the better. We will be back soon with another episode full of ideas and encouragement for your English journey.
Until then, keep practicing and stay motivated. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.